We got some news to get into today, boys. There's some interesting stuff going around lately with EU and US quests, a couple bugs here and there, some bug fixes that Blizzard implemented, some interesting stuff happening with 12.1.5, and maybe, just maybe, we have seen now the next $90 mount hitting the WoW store. Let's get into it here. 12.1 hotfixes are now live. Blizzard's been trying to fix up some of the now I said it, maybe my experience differs from a lot of people, but my 12.1 launch has been pretty successful for the most part. I have seen there's like this crazy login issue that a lot of people keep commenting on my videos that they're having, and I actually have not seen Blizzard address that yet. I don't know if people are still having issues logging in or not. Maybe Blizzard fixed it on the back end. They don't want to say anything, but hopefully that does get fixed for people. Speaking of fixes, we have some stuff going on here for classes. The Spirit Walk in the Vaults of Otalatak should now apply to pets. For Affliction Warlocks, they fixed an issue where Seed of Corruption would not consume Shard instability on cast. For Delves, they fixed an issue where the Delve Shadow Guard point, Shadow Guard Survivor, would not grant Great Vault credit upon completion. They also fixed a bug where ritual sites appear to grant Great Vault rewards when they shouldn't be, which were inconsistent with the available tiers and stuff like that. So next week, the Great Vault will reward the intended tier 1 through 6 for the weekly activities. So it looks like they were rewarding the wrong vault stuff there. Fixed an issue where Corrosive Codex that causes corrosive powers unlocked on one character would not show up to be available as an option on another character. So I guess some different warband issues there that have now been fixed. For dungeons, players who have not yet completed the Precursor campaign quest should now be able to be summoned to the Vaults of Otalatak by the Altar of Fangs dungeon group. So even if you haven't done the campaign, you should be able to do the dungeon now. For Altar of Fangs specifically, they addressed an issue where the Uncoiled Wreath consistently switches targets with Spiteful Hunt, and they also address an issue where interacting with infusion totems may fail to trigger the event. Oh, and that is the new pet event. If you didn't know, yes, the Altar of Fangs has a little totem thing where you can do it with 5 people. Some people got to soak the totem. One person is standing in the middle. There's a guide on it, and I talked about it yesterday. If you want to see it, go check out the WoW news from yesterday. But basically, you can get yourself a little pet. Looks like it wasn't working for some people. Well, now it should be. For Voidscar Arena, they addressed an issue where deafening Agera and unyielding while she's channeling Earth Splitter can fail to open the door to the arena. Okay, so I guess some arena door in Voidscar Arena wasn't opening properly, and now it is. Items. Fixed an issue where Venom Jade Necklace to sometimes be invisible. The Venom Jade Necklace was sometimes invisible. For layers, players cannot receive loot from Nerissa Wavecaller more than once per week in world difficulty. I guess people were getting more loot than they were supposed to. I don't even understand what this fix is. But there you go. For layers, oh, I guess they're not supposed to. You're not supposed to receive more than you're supposed to from the world boss on a weekly basis. So I guess people were receiving more loot than they should. So they limited it to once per week again. For PvP, a couple fixes here. Professions got a couple fixes as well for jewel crafting and tailoring professions. Looks like the knowledge things were having issues. Should now correctly award profession knowledge for tailoring and jewel crafting. As I mentioned, they fixed an issue for contracts as well with Zujara's forces on sometimes incorrectly apply the Amani tribe contract when used. And then some quests and stuff here. So some quest fixes for some people who are having issues with quests. And a world fix fixed a bug that could cause players to disconnect when entering a Lunarfall garrison excavation area. So there you go. The more fixes are needed for sure. Again, I don't know if Blizzard fixed the login issue yet, but hopefully that one's been fixed because that one's been pretty major for a couple people. Moving on to some interesting stuff here about tuning trinkets. That's right, guys. Trinket tuning is occurring, and yes, you've typically seen this along the board. Usually, previous seasons' trinkets get nerfed right now, and that's what just happened. The Gaze of the Allenseer, one of the best trinkets from the previous season, has just been nerfed by 20%. So it's just not going to be as good anymore. And Blizzard does that so that way you don't carry a trinket from last season throughout the second season in its entirety. So that's been nerfed. Also, the Crucible of Erratic Energies, its crit has been reduced by 15%. And there's a bunch of buffs here to all the current trinkets for this season. So this happens like every season now. The current trinkets get buffed so you can get your new trinkets, and the old ones get nerfed so you don't keep carrying them around. So that's how that's working. And nothing really to see here. It's the basically business as usual. You know what isn't business as usual? Losing your mythic mount. That's right, some players are losing their mythic lure mount as Blizzard discovers people paying IRL money to be carried for mythic lure kills. That's right. Turns out, Blizzard isn't a fan. You can pay gold, and Blizzard actually says that here in their blue post. They don't mind you paying gold for your boosts, but they do mind you paying real-life money because that money should be going to them. That's right. So players evidently have lost their Ashes of Beleren mount, and they received a little note here saying, "Greetings. During a recent review, we found one or more rewards gained on this account were connected to activities that violate our in-game policies. As a result, we have removed these rewards from your account." Oh, no. Yeah, a little weird. I don't know. I mean, it does go against, terms of service to obviously pay real-life money to get carried through shit, so you got to be careful with that. Using mommy's credit card to get your Ashes of Beleren mount is not something you should be doing. If you really want it and you really want to pay for it, buy yourself some damn WoW tokens, use the gold to get the mount, and that's the best way to do it and not lose it later on. But evidently some people are losing this mount. Moving on to some other weird stuff going on. EU and US are getting different quests for some reason, and this quest in particular was supposed to show up for us. It's a Lady Liadrin quest that did not show up originally for US players and did show up for EU players, and now it's also gone for EU players as well. It's supposed to give you another option to get your Spark of Tide, so unfortunately that's one option now that you won't have for this week. Also, it's supposed to help you start getting your Silvermoon Warband campsite, which is going to take 4 weeks to get. You're supposed to do this one every week, collect these void vestiges to be able to obtain this little background here for your Warband screen. And this one as well, the light version. It turns out you won't be able to do that this week. So there's some weird stuff going on with questing. That's not the only one here. We also have this one. Turns out there's a offer for champion gear, which is valuable right now for a lot of people. I mean, you're talking 292 item level, being able to be upgraded as well into the 300s. EU players being able to get this one, but US or NA players not. So EU players, for their King's Rest World quest, which is also available for US players, but it's not offering these same rewards, we're getting champion level pieces of gear. Some players were getting cloaks, some were even getting weapons for potential drops. This drop is, again, as I said before, a 1 of 6 champion gear, 292 item level, which is really good and could be upgraded further. The world quest for the NA players is just giving you 135 war resources. So yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah, basically shitting on the NA players. Not sure what's going to happen there or why EU players are getting different rewards than NA, but that's currently, it seems like a bug right now in the game. Do you want to be a snaky boy? Let's move on to some more current stuff and some more fun, less buggy shit. You can become a snake-inspired Naga yourself by earning the Cursed Badge of the Soul Coiler's Toy. Players must discover all of the lore objects throughout the new Coiled Isle Zone to get this. Collecting all the lore objects will reward you with the Student of History achievement and give you this transformation toy. So, yes, if you want to look like one of these boys, you can do it. Just complete that whole achievement for the Student of History, and you will, in fact, unlock the ability to become one. Obviously, there's a limit on how long you can be one. It lasts for 1 hour. There is a cooldown of 10 minutes after you use it, but 1 hour is pretty damn long. So you can fulfill all of your fantasies, all of your snake fantasies in just that 1 hour. Pretty cool toy, and anyone who's exploring the Coiled Isles right now, you'll be able to get it. Player housing blueprints, we all know they're live, and people are doing their player housing shit. You create the best Moonguard inspired sex dungeons anyone's ever seen. You can put that up, and people can also copy and paste and get that same thing done for themselves. Blizzard also created a little forum for all these people. So if you want to join that housing forum and collect some of the greatest, blueprints around, people are posting their blueprints for different builds, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to link that down below the YouTube video and in the chat for you guys. So if you want to get in, get yourself some of the coolest player housing schematics and blueprints around, you can go ahead and do that from the forum. Moving on. to one of the most interesting pieces of news I've seen in quite a while, boys. We all know the $90 mount for Blizzard was extremely successful. It was a big boon. They made so much damn money off of that $90 mount. It's insane. And you knew what that meant, right? Another one had to be being made, of course. There must be another $90 mount coming our way. Well, this looks like it's going to be it. There is no confirmation as of yet that this is going to, in fact, cost $90, but the intricacies and the size of this mount are absolutely insane, and it is tagged as an in-game shop mount. Here it is. This thing is like the, what do they call it? The Wandering Caravan. The Hearthkeeper's Wandering Caravan. So this is a crazy looking one here. We've got a massive dragon. This looks like a Vrykul inspired mount, right? Definitely Northrend vibes from this thing. Obviously, the Last Titan. We're going to go to Northrend. I think we could see this mount show up as like some kind of promotional thing. Like, hey, Last Titan, this post-BlizzCon stuff's all happening. We're going to see the Last Titan stuff. And then maybe we'll get this $90 mount drop on the store. Now, why do I say $90? I mean, look at this thing. It's absolutely massive. It's got unbelievable animation. It also has two spots, if you look at it. One barrel on this side and another barrel on the other side that look like some NPCs could be sitting on them. And, you know, two NPCs, you could have a bank one. You could have something else. This is a very interesting looking caravan for sure. Very detailed. They got smoke coming out the top of the chimney. You got all these little dangly bits here. It's definitely a cool looking mount and definitely has spots for other NPCs. It even has a porch on the back. So maybe some people could ride with you on it. I have no idea. This could be something that has NPCs available and the ability to have your friends ride on it. I talked about the next $90 mount because I've been saying they're going to come for a while now. And basically, I've been saying, hey, if they give us something with a Hearthstone on it, or not a Hearthstone necessarily, but a Summoning Stone, I think that could happen with this mount too, because look at the name of this thing. The Hearthkeeper's Wandering Caravan. Hearthkeepers, is that going to be able to, you know, if you have a mount that you can summon other players to, that's $90 that a lot of players are going to spend, for sure. Yeah, fuck locks, basically. So, basically, looking at this thing, I think we got our $90 mount reveal here. Is it, in fact, confirmed that this is going to cost $90 yet? No. But again, the details, all the evidence here, it seems to be lining up that, yeah, we could be getting ourselves a Yaki Boy, and definitely Northrend inspired. So, this fits everywhere we're going. Everything that's adding up to this, and I definitely think this is going to be it. Rested XP in mount, maybe. Yeah, this would be amazing for leveling if this is a Rested XP mount, for sure. There's plenty of things they could do to incentivize people to spend $90. And we all know you fucking degens will do it too. So if this in fact does happen, I'll definitely do a giveaway for some of these on the stream for sure. So, badass looking mount. We'll see if it ends up happening. Another big thing that was Datamined, and this wasn't even like mentioned by Blizzard, probably because people are going to claim it's wokeism, but the animation for Rude, the /Rude animation for Undead players was changed in 12.1. Previously, a little bit vulgar, yeah, Undead players would grab their crotch and pelvic thrust. This was their old Rude animation. Yeah, I don't know if the wokies won't like that very much, so it's been changed to this. This is now the new Rude animation, basically looks more like a threat than a rude gesture, but that's the new one. The old one's definitely better. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to say the new one's better than this. I mean, you got it, the crotch grab and thrust, plus even the fact that the hand is absolutely clipping through the waist. I mean, that is so World of Warcraft. But yeah, we got the new one here. Looks like Blizzard went and changed this without telling anybody. Again, I think they did it because they knew that this would get a lot of frenzied media attention, basically, from the player base if they actually announced that they were making this change. But the pelvic thrusting is no more, and the rudeness of Undead players is now just a little bit less rude thanks to these changes. Very, very sad. Finally, we are now in 12.1. But that means 12.5 is 8 weeks away. That's right. That's how this all works. 12.5 likely hitting. It looks like it's going to be October 6th. That's probably when we can expect it to come out. Again, that's about 8 weeks from the launch of this recent patch. What does 12.1.5 bring again? Well, now it's been a Datamined, by the way. This is now in the launcher. So that means, yeah, they're definitely moving forward with this. We're going to get Labyrinths, which are the big delves right? These massive raid-like delves where you can basically do a solo man raid, going through this thing, progressing through it through the entire week. A new raid will be coming, new content and systems as well. So some cool stuff coming in 12.1.5. Again, we could expect it in that Halloween time. October 6th will be feeling spooky and everything and getting a new patch. So that should be fun. Plenty of stuff to get into. We'll get into the game here in a little bit. But for today, that is all in terms of news.